And also to give us more details in terms of what this anti-immigration bill, of course, means for French politics and how it's likely to impact the politics for Emmanuel Macron. We're being joined by Ross Collins, who's joining us live from Paris on this broadcast. Now, Ross, this is a bill that's been debated upon a lot. Tell us what this bill is actually about and why has it been so controversial, and what does it do to Emmanuel Macron's politics in the French legislature?
Well, the controversy is continuing. We've just had the Wednesday cabinet meeting here in Paris, and the health minister, he said he resigned last night, didn't turn up at the cabinet meeting. He has been replaced already. He said that he was having to resign because he just couldn't support this bill. He said it wasn't a mix of firmness and fairness. He said those were the two principles that guided this bill being brought by the French government, with some left-wing elements, some right-wing elements. But the problem was that that bill then went to the Senate, which toughened it up. Then it went to the floor of the House, and that was cancelled before a debate could even begin. MPs voting not to have a debate on it, voting to bring down the bill before it even got to the floor of the House. Then there was a mixed parliamentary commission. Some senators and MPs combined to come up with a final wording of the bill, which on Tuesday night local time was put before the House, and it did pass. Where all 88 far-right MPs, instructed by their parliamentary leader, Marine Le Pen, actually chose to vote for the bill, something which embarrassed the government, because it did show perhaps that Macron and his Prime Minister Elisabeth Borne were teaming up with the far right to get this through. That is something absolutely that the government rules out. Gérald Darmanin, the Interior Minister, it's his bill. He says, we heard him in the introduction there saying that we managed to get this through without the votes of the far right. So it's come down to a lot of parliamentary
Ross, it's interesting.
The latest, though, is that this Wednesday,
just interrupt you there,
the
Ross,
bill has gone to the Constitutional Council, which...
Right. Now, Ross, the question that I want to ask you is, Marine Le Pen, the far-right leader, she's in fact said that it is an ideological victory for her, because this bill that is so controversial, that has so many far-right measures, that she's effectively saying that, look, Emmanuel Macron has passed a bill that she perhaps would have been proud of. How is Emmanuel Macron responding to it?
He thinks that the Constitutional Council will strike down some of those more troublesome, to use the word of the Speaker of the House, more troublesome elements of the bill. Emmanuel Macron speaking today saying, look, I didn't even like all of the parts of this bill, but it is not a dishonourable bill. It is something that we do believe is necessary, this immigration reform. There was glee among the benches of the far right because they believe that they could support this, saying that, look, there has been some changes to the bill. It's much more far right now. That's something that we believe. We need to take a tough stance on immigration, so we will support this bill. But dozens of Emmanuel Macron's lawmakers either abstained or voted against the bill. Real fractures now within his minority government, because he doesn't have a majority in Parliament. His own party, Renaissance, is now divided, as we saw, with some of those MPs refusing to support this bill, some of the opposition far right choosing to do that, to support the bill in place of the government. So real mix-up now, real problems for Emmanuel Macron and his Prime Minister Elisabeth Borne. Even some people are questioning if she will be able to remain in place. But the next focus is now the bill has to go to the Constitutional Council, which seems likely could well strike down some of those more troublesome elements of the bill.
Very interesting. Thank you very much indeed, Ross Cullen, for joining us and getting us that perspective then. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.